is a brand new noble, ano ba yun? How could you say that? Bago siya na polyethylene glycol. O meron siyang content na polyethylene glycol, I should say. Yung polyethylene glycol, it is estimated that around 70% of Americans pa lang ha, kasi hindi magsasenso sa Pilipinas eh. Around 70% of Americans are allergic. May allergy sa polyethylene glycol.
I just searched how many Americans are allergic to polyethylene glycol because I couldn't find any source that said 70% of Americans are allergic to this. Let me just add, if there were 70% of people in America that are allergic to this, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be classed as an allergy. So I just clicked on the first link because that was the only one with stats, and it literally says there are 6 reported cases of severe allergic reactions to the COVID-19 vaccine from 300,000 people, and a review of the scientific literature reported 37 cases of an allergic reaction to PEG from 1977 to 2016. I don't think 37 people between 4 decades amounts to 70% of Americans, but you know, it's fine.
Dahil sa Pilipinas, wala tayong census kasi wala naman sila pag-aaral na ginagawa eh. Gaya-gaya lang naman sila eh. Basta magkapera sila, di ba?
That's not the only hypocritical thing he says.
So pag-usapan natin yung allergy. Ano ba ang itsura ng allergy? Pwede ka magka-rashes, right? Ano pa? Pwede ka magkaroon ng fatigue, pwede ka manghina bigla, okay? Ano pa? Pwede ka ma-anaphylactic shock, bigla ka na mangisay. Bigla ka na bumulagta, okay? Or blood clot. Blood clot. Kasi nga po, this polyethylene glycol is usually associated with blood clots. Biglaan lang aakit yung particle ng utak mo, di ba? And then, dedo ka na. Paksiyo ka na, boy.
He's talking about methoxypolyethylene glycol, which is used to treat anemia. And if you take too much of it, you'll get a blood clot. That doesn't happen with just normal polyethylene.
Ganun kalapit ito polyethylene glycol na to. Sabi nga ni Astor Joy Eguia, anti-freeze, polyethylene glycol. Ano yung anti-freeze? Ginagamit yun sa mga kotse para hindi mag-freeze yung mga engine nila.
Polyethylene glycol is not antifreeze. It contains a common thing with antifreeze, which is ethylene glycol, a compound found in antifreeze. Doesn't mean that polyethylene glycol is antifreeze. Petroleum is oil, doesn't mean I can use it for cooking.
Etong bakulam na to has no informed consent. Hindi sinasabi, lalo na sa Pilipinas, na pari pong maapektuhan yung bahay bata ninyo, maaring mamatay kayo, maaari po magka-blood clot, maaari po kayo magkaroon ng tubig sa baga.
Yeah, because they're all in your head.
Ang sasabihin nila, pag nagpabakulam ka, mananalo ka ng raffle, bahay at lupa. Pag nagpabakulam ka, pwede ka manalo ng ilang milyong piso. Pag ikaw ay nagpabakulam, bibigyan ka namin ng groceries na dapat naman binibigyan namin sa inyo pero ayaw namin ibigay. Right? Yan ang advertisement sa Pilipinas.
Maybe think of what's influencing them to not take the vaccine and then try to look at yourself.
Dok, bakit buong mundo nagkakaisa dito sa COVID na to at sinasabi meron talagang COVID? At itong bakulam na to ay pinaka-solusyon. Ikaw iba sinasabi mo, ibig sabihin, mas magaling ka pa sa buong mundo. Huwag niyo matatanungin gano'n kasi obviously, nang insulto na lang kayo, obviously nang totroll na lang kayo.
And it's still not the final hypocritical thing he says. Also, that statement is not even trolling, it's just a genuine question. I don't get how that's how dumb can you be to not know what trolling means?
Maraming kinakwento si Adam Betlog, aka Doc Adam, na mali. Wala siyang ebidensyang ma-present na tama.
You've been doing that this entire video. And again, it's not even the final hypocritical thing he says.
In fact, yung $1 billion worth of bakulam na tinapon sa Australia, ayaw nga niyang sabihin yun eh. Bakit? Kasi kahihiyan yun, di ba? Kahihiyan yun sa mga binablog niya na pro-bakulam siya, di ba?
I don't really watch Doc Adams, but I don't get why he's obligated to talk about the 1 billion Australian donation. And I don't even get why he'd be ashamed, like it's literally helping Indonesia from debt and the people who need it.
Or if he meant it the other way by Australia being the one donated to, then why would he be ashamed of a donation that he didn't have anything to do with?
And also, he literally is running a GoFundMe about proper health education for Filipinos, a movement that he's running and is pro-vax, with $32,000 in its name. Where is he hiding that he's pro-vax? Where?
Etong Doc Adam na to, aka Adam Betlog, as I call him, kasi mukhang Betlog ang mukha, mukhang ladyboy. Obviously, may ladyboy naman talaga yung shota niya. Marami po ito sinasabing medical misinformation. If I were you, i-unfollow ko yan.
So not only are you bullying his appearance, but also telling people to unfollow him and being a homophobe at the same time? That's literally being a hypocrite and then some. And what did you say earlier again?
Huwag niyo tatanungin gano'n kasi obviously, nang insulto na lang kayo, obviously nang totroll na lang kayo.
Did you define the word troll based on yourself?
Wala pong ginawa yan kundi manira, kundi mag-slander, kundi po gumawa ng kwento kasiraan ng mga kababayan natin. Kasi ang tingin niya, sa Pilipinas lang may medical misinformation, sa Australia daw wala.
Just because you donated to a country for better research does not mean you think that only that country has medical misinformation. That's the stupidest conclusion you could ever come to.
Hindi niya maamin sa sarili niya na hindi siya pinapansin sa Australia. Hindi siya pinapansin sa Australia, hindi siya pinapansin sa Amerika, hindi siya pinapansin sa UK. Kaya po, nagwa-white savior complex siya sa Pilipinas kasi nga puti siya, ako po ay nagtatagalog kahit po ako po ay utal-utal. Pakinggan niyo po ako mga Pilipino, bili po kayo ng blender at chia seeds.
Before I make myself say anything else, I forgot to add here that he literally makes fun of how he talks. Like, why act petty and attack superficial shit like this instead of trying to have a civil argument about your opinions of why you think his work is bad in your eyes? Just shows how unprofessional he is. Anyway, back to what I was gonna say. You do realize that he's doing what he's doing because there's a lack of advanced critical thinking? Case in point, right here in the Philippines, right? He's standing against it because it's a big problem, not because he's white. Do you realize that he's the only person you're talking about that's opposing your view? One person! Because he's the only one of those very small amount of people with influence that can actually change people's minds. Like, it's literally showing how there's not enough people standing against this problem, and he sees that and takes the opportunity to help the vulnerable people that you're trying to take advantage of.
Ang information nakaharap na, nakalitaw na sa harapan natin. All we have to do is read and listen. Dahil alam ko na maraming Pilipino hindi nagbabasa, hindi nag-research, ako na nagsasabi.
I don't think reading matters if you can't even comprehend 3/4 of what you're trying to read out to everyone.
Ito ang puno, nawawala ang logic kapag takot, fear control. Yun naman talaga ginagawa nila, di ba?
Again, you're making people fear the vaccine so they won't take the vaccine. That's what you're doing. And with no effort to at least put some fake sources or fake articles about the thing you're talking about.
Google, FB, Twitter, malakas ang censorship. Yes, kaya nga pinahabol na ni Donald Trump yan. Malapit na matapos itong censorship nila.
So Donald Trump is helping censor Twitter now?
Pag nawala na si Dutae, ano yan? Wala na rin yan. Wala na rin yung bakulam na yan. Titigil na rin yan. Kasi ngayon gumagawa sila ng pera para sa eleksyon eh. Gusto nila ma-elect si Sara, gusto nila ma-elect si Bongo, mga korap yan, gusto nila ilagay sa pwesto eh.
First off, our president leaving does not make the vaccine not available. And second, how does electing these politicians relate to the vaccine at all? Not supporting any politician, by the way. I don't know anything about politics.
I'm just telling you whatever truth is out there na sinesensor ng mainstream media.
I'm really concerned of what the definition of truth is to this person.
It's up to you. Kung gusto mo pabakulam, edi abatayin natin in the next 2 to 3 years kung sino pang buhay. I could care less. Basta ako di ako papabakulam. Alam nyo, I feel bad for our kababayans kasi alam ko walang freedom sa Pilipinas eh.
So he says he could care less if you want to get the vaccine, but then says he feels bad for the people who don't know what propaganda he's spreading. So he only cares about you if he can deceive you by telling info that he thinks you should know that shouldn't even be classified as information in the first place. Sounds like you're doing this for another purpose than to quote-unquote help people. Maybe he's saying that he won't care about you and deny all the quote-unquote help he's trying to give you and still get the vaccine. Even that point of view doesn't make sense at all. Wouldn't you care more for the people that are stubborn on believing in what you think is the truth? Or is it that you won't care about them because they don't make you any money and they actually have rational thinking skills that you need to lack in order to believe what he's saying? Maybe it's your tenacity that holds you for caring for people that disagree with you, because instead, you see them as people with agendas against humanity, or agendas against you. Or maybe that's why you try to think that maybe believing all of this nonsense will make you think that you're one of the more special people that knows about the underlying truth about everything. And living in your world of delusion where everything you say is right is how you stop having mental breakdowns every day of how insignificant you'll be if you leave it. Holy shit, I've never sounded that condescending in my life. I'm just assuming all of this, but to me, taking a deeper look at what he says and trying to take meaning from it just shows to me what his real motive is to say all of this stuff. Because in my opinion, you don't speak your words, the words speak for you, if that makes any sense at all.
Alam ko walang freedom sa Pilipinas eh. Alam ko walang freedom, na-restrict ang freedom sa Pilipinas. Kaya nga umalis dyan eh. Kasi hindi ko na kaya yung lack of freedom. Hindi ko kaya. Kaya dito ako sa Amerika ngayon, walang face mask, walang face shield, wala nang mga bullshit na social distancing.
So what you're saying is you went to America to pose a risk to everyone's health for your own benefit. Okay, I got you.
I wish lahat tayong mga Pilipino may option lumabas. I wish talaga na lahat ng kababayan natin may option lumabas. I'm sorry sa maraming kababayan natin na walang option lumabas.
Yes, I wish you had an option to get out so that I won't experience dumb people like you in the same country as me. That's probably the worst thing I could ever wish upon myself. First off, I just want to say, I'm just a 15-year-old stating his opinions. This video was purely made from the rage that I experienced from watching this video because my mind doesn't really tolerate some stuff that people say that can be disproved in like a second. Whether that be like a moon landing was fake or the earth is flat or some shit like that. But let me just say this. Not everything that you hear from one guy constitutes as fact just because he calls himself smart. Shit, some of the research I did here might even be ass. But don't believe what anyone says on face value. Look more into it. Like I've said, you can read all of the resources I've used for this video. Just be open-minded. And if you say some dumb shit like, our sources have been blocked by the internet so I can't show them to you, that literally holds the same weight as me saying that my dog ate my homework but I still made it anyway. But I also have a test for myself. 2 moms I know, my mom included, have been vaccinated. If they suffer from any of the symptoms that this guy has said in this video and is unrelated to any underlying diseases that they might have, this video is not worth it. But for now, I'm just sticking to believing that anti-vaxxers are stupid!